before we get into the running footage for the first bash video here, I just wanted to make you aware of something. So on this body, this spine is pretty low when it comes to sitting on the drivetrain cover here when it's fully closed. Now the problem with this is that if you do have a upgraded ESC like this and you have the standard wire sizes, that wire cannot go underneath that spine and sit between the spine and this drivetrain cover, because it makes the body really hard to slot on. So what you have to do is instead you have to thread that wire in between the body to allow it to close. So it's a slightly extra step that you have to go through when you're putting this body on. I think the stock wires for the stock ESC that comes with the Typhon, I think the wiring is a bit thinner than this, so maybe it's not much of a problem. But for those of you that are running upgraded ESCs, or you've got other wiring or anything that's sitting on the drivetrain cover here, that's going to be a bit of a problem, so just keep that in mind. This is probably the best way I can show you it, but you basically have to thread the wire over the spine here, so that when you close the body, it doesn't interfere with the mechanism that connects into the RC. Now that's a bit annoying because it's a bit fiddly and it takes a little bit more time, but it's not the worst deal. But I do think that Proline could have made a slightly better design choice by raising that spine in the middle of the body a little bit to give some extra clearance. The other thing to be aware of is that if you've mounted a upgraded ESC or something like that, then the power button, I've had to mount it on the side of the receiver because that's the only place that didn't interfere with the body closing. Because firstly, I had it on the drivetrain cover, but I couldn't have it there because the body wouldn't close. So just be aware of that. Alright guys, I've finally got the Pro-Line Grom body out with the now X Typhon. So now it's the Pro-Line Baja Bug Grom, and I finally had a chance to bring it out because the weather in the UK has been appalling over the last couple of weeks. But as you can see today, blue skies, so perfect opportunity to give this a run. And for those who haven't seen my previous video on this, I've got a ton of GPM parts on it, and the only real difference I've made since that video is I've put a better servo in this. We've got now an Endura 11 kilogram servo, and I'm going to give it a first run. I'm going to start off with around 50% gyro. I'm running my FlySky gyro receiver on this, and let's see how that goes. Okay, let's go. First impressions are good. Super stable. That gyro is doing its work. Yeah, this is super fun. In fact, I think that gyro is a bit too much. Let me turn it down to about 20%. Alright, so 20% gyro now. Let's see how that slides around. Yeah, this is perfect. Right amount of slide. Oh, this is super fun. Okay, let's give it a bit of a run up. I really don't want to mess this body up, but it's inevitable. Guys, first impressions on this are really good. I know I'm going to jinx it, but I haven't flipped it over yet. Let's do a full throttle pass. Oh, there you go, I did jinx myself. I think it needs to be slightly trimmed up.
Center point.
Let's see what that's like. No, it still needs trimming. It's quick. You know what, I think those GPM parts do make a difference, especially that steering rack, and a better servo definitely helps. Yeah, super fun. These tyres are good as well, feel like they've got the right amount of slide. This is on 20% gyro. Oh, I think I need to ease into it a bit more. Alright, let's do a little speed pass. Ease into it this time. The trim's off. Let's do it this time. Trim's still off. It's quick. I don't know if the trim's off or if it's just the ground. Let's try again. Had to abort that one. Gonna go straight into that pavement or curb even. It's taking it like a champ. So a reminder for those that didn't see my previous video, obviously check it out if you can, but I've got a 45 amp Hobby Wing ESC in this, an upgraded one. Yeah guys, this is super fun. Definitely recommend this kit. I'm really happy I got this. Whoa. Tumble wumble. For a small car, it's not going to be super stable, but you know, this is probably the best we're going to get with a small RC. Running a 21 tooth pinion, so I believe that's the stock for the Typhon Grom. I left that on here to see how it performs. theatrical tumble there. I was considering getting a wheelie bar. Next Racing do a really nice looking red wheelie bar that would match my other parts. But I've already spent a lot of money on this, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it yet. There's that crispiness of the body gone. Now, admittedly, I can't give you an opinion on how this performs compared to the stock Typhon Grom BLX, and that's because after I bought my Typhon Grom BLX, I didn't bother actually using it because I bought it specifically for this kit, and I'd seen enough videos on the Typhon Grom BLX to kind of know how it already drives as an RC. So to be honest, I wasn't quite that interested in it, but based on the videos I've seen, this drives a little bit different with these wheels. Yeah, it handles so good for a small RC. It's brilliant. If you're on the fence about buying this kit, definitely buy it. I know my initial kind of impressions were on the fence about whether it's worth the £70 or $70, but it's worth it. You get yourself a new Grom, and it drives a little bit different to the Typhon. Can definitely see those wheels wobbling. I think that's a gyro. Wow, look at that, didn't even flip over there. I turned while I was on throttle. Let me put the gyro completely down to 0 and see how that goes. Oh wow, it's decent. I don't think it needs a gyro. Maybe a touch, but yeah. Yeah, it's acceptable without a gyro for sure. Just need to be a bit more skilled. Yeah, okay. Let's put about 10% on. Big traction roll there. Super impressed so far, guys. This is really fun. I think I've said that about 10 times already, but it really is. Yeah, that 10% gyro is pretty good. Yeah, 10% sweet spot on the Fly Sky. Leaf caught under it. Let's check. That's right. See if I can do a wheelie. Nope. Yeah, a bit more flipping over with less gyro, which is to be expected. Beautiful. Yeah, I think that now the tyres are warm, it's gripping a bit more. It looks so good with those red GPM parts. Yeah, GPM makes some really lovely parts, and I've just ordered a whole lot for my Mojave 4S as well. You know what, I don't think I need that wheelie bar on this, because it doesn't really wheelie. Look at that, sliding round, beautiful. I'm having a lot of fun with this right now. I love these Groms, even though they're small cars, they're just as fun as their bigger brothers. They're super fast. I haven't speed tested this or the Mojave Grom, but I've seen enough videos to know that these things hit 50 miles an hour. Oh, nice little spark there. And the scorched skid plate. Okay. That's LVC, guys. But that was an awesome test. Really love this RC with this new kit, and highly recommend getting one if you guys are considering it and on the fence. It really transforms this RC into something a little bit different from the stock Typhon Grom BLX. So thanks for watching, guys, and I really appreciated all your support on the last video I did on this, and I would love to see your comments on what you think of this first run of this RC. Put it in the comments, and also if you like this content, please subscribe for more content similar to this. Okay, damage report time. So fortunately there's not actually much to mention. As you saw, I took a fair few tumbles on that last run. I've got a few light scratches on the top of the body, which is to be expected, but it's held up surprisingly well, considering some of those tumbles I took. The only real damage I can see is on the shock protector bits here from GPM. I've kind of scratched them up a little bit, which is a shame. It's more an aesthetic thing more than anything else. And the wheels, got some discoloration on the rims, but generally all four tires have held up really well. I can see that the tread hasn't really worn that much, considering I was giving it full throttle most of the time. On all four wheels, they're looking good. They haven't come unglued. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this has turned out.